I think says it's setting up. Redirecting to live stream. Looks like we're good. All right, and we're good.
What's going on, man? We are on Sportcast. Woo!
Sports Talk One. Welcome to the Sports Talk 101, presented by the Sportscast, with your host Aaron and Ray. Today's date, November 2nd, 2021. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all the channels: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch TV, and Apple Podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It'll help us out tremendously. Visit us on thesportscast.net. Also follow us on Twitter at thesportscast1, and check out our app, The Sportscast, in the iOS App Store. Whew, man, it's been a crazy week.
Man, been some beautiful games, been some horrible games, people going to jail, probably going to do some time, some trade deadlines.
And we're not talking Deshaun Watson.
No.
And I just want to introduce myself. I am Aaron, aka Vet Cloud Gaming. You guys may have seen me. I do a lot of game streaming stuff, but I've been in and around football since I was born. My grandfather bred me as a Washington football fan, even though I was really tempted to have my background showcase the old Washington logo, but I changed my mind at the last second and just went with the NFL.
You better not do that.
No, but I love football. I mean, I played football and lacrosse in high school. I met all the old Hogs. I met Sonny Jurgensen, Sam Huff, Darrell Green, Art Monk, Dexter Manley. I mean, the list goes on with all the old school, the greats that from Washington, from the days of their glory days back prior to 1992.
Well, I'm Ray Sherrod. I live out here in the Bay Area. I'm out here in California. My dad was in the military. We were stationed out here in Alameda, California. Met my high school sweetheart, decided to stay out here. Instead of going to college, I went and became a gemologist. I went to GIA, and I was a jeweler. And so what I did was I worked in a jewelry store. Started working in 1995, and I think I left that store probably about around 2011. But when I worked in the jewelry store, we sponsored the Oakland Raiders and we sponsored the Oakland A's. We used to have a lot of, and we sponsored the Warriors. So we used to have a lot of Golden State Warriors, a lot of Raiders. I met John Gruden. and whatever you hear about him in the news, guys, he was pretty nice to me. But I made a lot of custom blings, iced out Rolexes and watches, and made some crazy, for a lot of athletes. So yeah, that's what I've done. And been playing fantasy football for about 21 years. I'm a diehard 49er fan. I'm a ride or die with my team, and I'm happy what they did last Sunday. And that's me, Ray Sherrod. And they call me Ray 3473.
All right. So do we want to go through news, or do we want to just touch off on the highlights from week 8? Because I was kind of surprised with some of those games. The Green Bay game I was pissed about, but that's just
I knew you was gonna be pissed, man. I knew you.
I'm
not Aaron Rodgers.
I do. I can't. He is such an overrated bum. I cannot stand Rodgers. Oh my gosh. He just, we've already got a question for Ray. How do you, over on YouTube, how do you think today's trade will fit in your defense scheme?
Hey, let me tell you something. We got the offense. Okay, we got Debo. We got Elijah Mitchell. We're getting Kittle's back. What we need help is defense. So to get that, and then, we got D Ford doing half the snaps. Come on, man, get these guys out here. But this trade's going to help. I'm glad they made that trade. And it's going to help us a lot. It's going to help us a lot.
Get all the chat up here. Well, I'll do that in a minute. I can't seem to log in because it wants...
back to the Packers and the Cardinals. What the hell was Green thinking towards the end of that game, man? Like the ball. Was he gonna catch the ball in his butt or what? All he had to do was turn around, caught the ball. That's the end of the game. It was. I mean, it was a really interesting game. Defense, both doing their thing. Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean, you just can't give this guy time.
No, and as much as I can't stand him, I give him credit where credit is due. I've just never been a Packers fan, but I was a fan of Brett Favre. I was a fan of him. I'm not a fan of Rodgers because when he doesn't get his way, he throws his little temper tantrums, and that's the thing that drives me nuts.
I was at when his father passed away. You know what team he played? He played the Raiders, and do you know what he did to the Raiders that night? He torched them. And he dedicated to his father, man. He torched the Raiders, but Brett Favre, he amazing Packer. But you got to come on, man. You got to give it up for Aaron Rodgers. He won a championship. Yeah. He's good. I
give him credit. Question from Jeff Ray: where do you see him fitting into your lineup?
Where do I see him fitting into my lineup? Anywhere he can help, dude. Anywhere he can help. We get those long balls thrown, and safeties. I mean, we need help. We need help.
And then another one from corners. Another one from Jeff is Rams the team to beat now in the NFC after the trade. I did have that on my list of notes. Because that's a big deal with Von Miller going to the Rams.
First of all, guy, I'm gonna tell you this: the team that wins the Super Bowl is going to be a team from the West. You heard that, folks? It's going to be a team from the West. Hey, let me tell you something. Come on, Cup and Woods and Henderson. The Rams look great, man. And Detroit, they got, oh my God. They're like, man, we got the bad part of this trade, man.
They're like, well, either that or they're just like, well, why Stafford, what the heck? Why did you not play like this here? I mean, and to be honest, this is a different Stafford. He's played well, but he's had garbage. He's had garbage. He hasn't had
passes he threw to Megatron. He wasn't garbage.
That's the only player he had.
He only had one player.
He had one player. Exactly. That's my thing.
You can't win with one receiver. You need balance. You need defense. You need offense.
Jeff is still stuck on the fact that Tampa Bay is going to win the Super Bowl and no one else. So why are we? Because he said Tampa's moving out west. Interesting.
No, they're not. Tampa Bay. If you watch the Saints game, anything can happen any given Sunday. Okay?
I feel my heart goes out to. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan.
Man? Let me tell you something. I watched my wife. Because he was on my fantasy team. I screamed when I saw that collar. That illegal hole that and his leg and his knee went all. I was so like, that's it. He's done. That's an ACL.
Ron Slusher over on YouTube also said the Cardinals.
I said it's going to be a team in the West. Look, hey, you got the Cardinals, you got the Rams.
And Jeff is right. I did say at one point, I am on record with saying the Tampa Bay was winning it again at the beginning of the season based off that performance from last year.
Change your mind.
We're halfway through the season, and this is not. There are a lot. The 8 weeks in, I was not expecting Detroit to be 1-7. Part of me was because Detroit.
Wait a minute. Detroit is what?
I believe they're winless, aren't they?
Detroit ain't won no game.
That's right. I'm thinking the Jets or the Jacksonville.
I want to talk about that Jets game later. Okay, there's a guy called White and there's a guy called Carter. That's your future, Jets. That's your future. But
so since we were chatting about with these trades, and Jeff said it's the Raiders the best team in the AFC. Heck, what NFL are you watching? I mean, maybe from like when they had Jeff George back in 2001. And even then they weren't really that good. But I was gonna say, what's your thoughts on the Titans signing AP?
Well, you know what, man? Let me tell you something. Right down the street, there's a group of old men and they play flag football. You got about as a good chance of grabbing one of those guys and having them as your new running back than picking old. And come on, dude. Adrian Peterson. Come on, man. Come on, dude.
If he's healthy and if
bro,
I'd love
come
to,
on.
I know. What I'm gonna say is I would love to see him produce like he did in Washington. His first when he broke over 1,000 yards rushing. And Washington, that was on a Washington team that was terrible.
Past, bro. You can't live in the past. You can't live in the past.
I don't know if he's in the same shape.
You know who I would have went with Todd Gurley. Over
True.
Adrian Peterson. But Adrian Peterson, God bless. Look, when he was in Minnesota, he was the man. When he went to certain teams, he had a little bit of, he did a little something. But right now, nah, man. And just so you know, Titans, they're done. Titans are done.
Well, let's see. Raider Guy 87 over on Twitch said they're good despite losing Ruggs today. Ron Slusher said Julio Jones better step up for the Titans. And Jeff said, so you're saying having one running back to take all the carries could result in an injury.
Let me tell you something, man. Getting Adrian Peterson is not going to save the Titans. All right.
I know that their whole team, that entire offense.
I mean, you got Brown. Look, you got Brown and you got Julio Jones. All right. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Right,
they do got a guy named Nichols. They got a backup named Nichols. My
thing is, your offense was based around that running back, that running game. That was your thing, and now you don't have that anymore.
Tannehill?
So that changes. Yeah,
Tannehill's gonna be running for his life, boy.
Yeah. And then, so Joe Flacco's back with the Jets again. I love that, that when he was with the Jets, they traded him for some draft picks to Philly. Philly said, you know what, we don't want him. Here, have him back, but we want some draft picks. We want our picks back. But I don't know why they did that, because it doesn't matter who they have at the helm. The Jets' biggest issue is they have no offensive line to protect. That was Sam Darnold had that problem there, but he also had the same problem in Carolina, because look what happened.
If you saw the Jets game, that was a very inspirational game, dude. I thought they were going to lose, but this kid White, he showed me heart, and Carter running the ball like he did. I don't know. I think that's your quarterback right there. Did you see how the team rallied behind? He threw a ball. It bounced off of Carter. And then usually a young quarterback, they shut down. They can't do anything. So,
well, it's going to be interesting. It's a similar thing with with Washington when they had Heineke. No one heard of him. He comes in last year and darn near knocks out the Bucks, but he shows potential. The issue that I'm wondering is what's going to happen when Fitzpatrick is ready to come back. Are they going to just stick it out, or are they gonna, I really don't know.
I would keep
what's going to happen here.
They could have came back and won that, but you know what? You got a kicker with the last name of Blewett. Come on now. What's your last name?
And what did he do? He blew it. Because he blew 2 field goals. He did get a 50-some yarder, but
I don't get his last name is Blewett.
When I saw that right after they released their veteran kicker to bring this kid in, I'm just like, what is Rivera?
Twice in the game.
We've seen that happen before. The Vikings cut a kicker because he blew it in the playoffs, and his last name wasn't even Blewett. I'm just,
but you know what? Hey, I got to give it JD Kissick. He looked good running the ball.
Yeah, McLaurin as always looked good.
I mean, he could have won. Hey, the only thing, dude, it was slop at the end of the game. Melvin was running the ball. They fumbled. Heineken got it. What did he do? He just did like a flabby toss in the air. He did a crazy Hail Mary.
Heineke looked good. He was 25 of 39, 272 yards, a touchdown. Yeah. He had 2 picks. That doesn't help. But his passer rating was terrible. But he also got sacked 5 times.
Oh my God. Hold on. He got sacked by, let's see. Hold on. I wrote it down. He got sacked by Sweat. He got sacked by Williams. He got sacked by Barnett. It was sack city, y'all.
There was nine sacks between both teams because Bridgewater stat-wise on stat paper, he looked great, except for he was 19 of 26, 213 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, which is always a plus. His passer rating was 109.9, but he did get dropped 4 times.
Hey, but you know what though? Hey, Melvin ran the ball good though. They ran the ball. They ran the ball.
First, Melvin Gordon's the first Denver player with 1 rushing touchdown and 1 receiving touchdown.
I just want to know. I had Williams.
Since CJ Anderson in 2017.
I had Williams on my fantasy team. Why the hell they did not run Williams? I love when they use Melvin and Williams, but it was Melvin. He was the ball carrier. He was doing all the work.
Have you noticed that the Broncos have allowed 13 or fewer points in each of their 4 wins?
Yeah.
At 4-4, all 4 of their wins have been less points. Bridgewater had a 70+ completion rating percentage, 0 interceptions for the 4th time this season. It's the most in the NFL, which is good. I mean, I watched him as he progressed when he was with Minnesota, and he looked super good then. And then he had that unfortunate injury that he came back from, and he's working his way up there.
He looks good, man.
Other headlines I saw: Packers released Jalen Smith after 2 games with the team. He signed a 5-year, $64 million extension with the Cowboys in 2019,
right?
And then watched the team spend 2 picks on linebackers in the draft. Dallas cut him 2 years into that extension, and he lasted 2 games with the Packers. Do we see anybody else picking him up?
You can always use somebody. You can always, I can see somebody.
I mean, he has potential.
Hey, got Deshaun Jackson got cut, man.
Well, he wanted a trade, but he's not getting used either. So I understand that, but I think the Rams are asking too much for him.
Look, when you got cut,
somebody was asking for too much with Jackson.
No, you're right.
Ron Slushard asked, "Are the Bills for real?"
Yes.
They are. I thought I would have said the same with the Cardinals too, but
let me tell you something. Josh Allen,
the Rams.
Look, Josh Allen. That is playing in Buffalo where it's cold. He can. You need a guy that can throw it. You need a guy that can run it. That is a damn good quarterback. So yes, Josh Allen and the Bills are real. They're real.
Jeff said Jackson to the Packers. I really thought he was, when I heard the trade stuff, I really thought he was going to come back. He was the Eagles were going to bring him back home and let him finish his career there. But
that bridge is burned. But hey, man, let me tell you something. The Eagles,
maybe he'll end up in the Jets.
My ass whooping of the weekend was the Eagles and the Lions. Oh Lord,
that was brutal. God. I went with I did go. Ron Solskjaer said let's not write off the Chiefs. I want to say no to not writing the Chiefs off, but they've got some weaknesses, and teams are figuring it out now. Yeah. That's been there. That I've said that from the get-go. Like if you can figure out the cheat how to take out certain people, you can they're not as dominant as they were. And I think that's their flaws are starting to showcase big time.
Sack City was the Detroit game, and that was Barnett, Sweat, and Williams. They were sacking the crap out of your boy Goff, man. That was Sack City.
I think the Rams are just loving watching the highlights and realizing that they definitely won out on that big trade.
Dude,
like they gave up a lot
to
get him, but
Matthew is look. I don't have to freeze my butt off in Detroit. I got Cup, Woods, I got Henderson in the back.
And then now their defense. I mean, that
the defense.
I think they've already got. Now you're adding Von Miller. That definitely puts them higher up on the list. I don't know if I would say Super Bowl contender, but it definitely puts them as a contender to go that way. I mean, I think it's going to come down to it's going to be interesting. I don't want to say count the Packers out because you never count Rodgers out because he finds a way of.
You just don't give him the time. Don't give him the time. Don't give them the time.
I was impressed. I mean, I wasn't really. I honestly thought Jacksonville was going to win over Seattle because I'm not. Gino is the reason, but Gino's
playing his butt off. What do you mean?
That's because he wants to secure a job somewhere else.
Lockett and Metcalf. Come on, man. Oh man.
But I was going because I wasn't sold on Geno at the time. And he's proven me wrong. Carolina, I'm surprised Carolina won because their line is terrible. They squeaked out a win. I see that.
Well, they got more. Atlanta, you got more once you get Christian back, which
Spaceman.
Yeah, we don't do no CFL, man.
Hey, Kurt Warner, Johnny Football.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kurt was Arena Football. Johnny Football was CFL until he got banished for unknown reasons.
Dude, can we talk about your boy Beckham? ODB 6 yards.
Overrated.
Man. 6 yards. And his father, is on social media.
Odell is overrated.
Ain't nobody throwing to my boy. My boy is open. Well, he was open though, man.
He was. He was
open.
He was open. I had picked the Browns for that one, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sold 100% because I knew that was going to be a slugfest. I knew Pittsburgh and Cleveland have major issues.
I picked Pittsburgh, man. I picked Pittsburgh to win that. And the reason why was because of Harris. I said, you know what? I think Harris is gonna ball. And he did. He balled out.
Alouettes for the win.
Yeah, they had Harris, Claypool, Johnson.
The New England game, Mac Jones again.
That's another guy. I put him up there with Josh Allen. He's good. I can see why they let him go.
He gets better with every single game. Even if he makes mistakes, he's still getting better with each game.
He doesn't let the mistakes get to him. Yeah, he's throwing do you see the balls he throws?
Yeah, it is fantastic. Let's see if I got – you want to talk about the 49ers game? I know you're waiting for that.
Well, hey, you know what, man? Let me just last week before the game, everybody was talking about fire Coach Shanahan and let's get rid of Jimmy. Oh, first of all, happy 30th birthday, Jimmy G. Today's his birthday. He's 30 years old. Happy birthday, Jimmy. Man, what can I say? I'm happy. They played. I mean, they said we don't have any receivers. What are you talking about? We got Debo. Debo's good, man. Debo had 171, 72 yards. He's good. Aku or whatever the ref called him out. I mean, not the ref. The coach called him out for gaining weight and being fat. He caught a touchdown.
He said, "All right,
but you know what? Just get that inspired. You know what? But inspired Elijah Mitchell. Did you see him carry all those guys into the end zone? They were all on top of him, and he just kept trucking.
Yeah, I mean, boom. Some old school stuff right there is what that was.
Yeah, nah, man.
So I'm gonna talk about the Cowboys as much as I don't give two craps about them.
Look. You got to.
They had a good game. Honestly,
Rush Cooper. I was crying, man. His mama and his dad was out there.
Cooper, it was a touchdown. It was a passing touchdown from Cooper to Cooper.
Cooper to Pooper. Nah.
He was hanging with Mr. C.
It was a good. That's a good story, man. His parents are out there.
That was actually that touchdown in the fourth quarter was the first passing touchdown in NFL history where the passer's first name and the receiver's last name were an exact match.
Yeah,
I'm glad that's a stat now because we don't need any more stats, right?
Who cares?
But Cousins looked. Like Cousins, mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Which is a telltale trait.
That's why it's the Vikings, man. They're not.
Well, he had Rush. I didn't even know who he was at first. Like I had to Google him to pull up some. Who keeps track? I know.
Well, I don't. So only one school gave this kid a scholarship.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah, and a Rush Cooper. What the hell? Cooper Rush for whatever. But
yeah, he had 325 passing yards. I mean, from what I read, it was only Gary Hodgeboom had 343 in week 1, 1984, had more passing yards in their first career start in Cowboys history. Bravo for him. I mean, your first career start, you win the game, you throw 325 yards. You create your own stat in the NFL books.
Sorry. Like, just so you know, other teams will be sending, when he plays the next team, it'll be a little bit different. They'll have some schemes for him, and we'll see.
McCarthy, but I'm not a fan of Mike McCarthy, but I will say, he's 11-4 in his career following a bye week. Yeah. Zimmer is unfortunately 3-5. And I don't see I don't know if they'll can him.
When you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, you got Adam Thielen, you got Jeffrey. Well,
the biggest issue with the Vikings is, one, their quarterback. The stupidest mistake they ever made was signing Cousins, and I knew that because I watched him from when he was moment he was drafted in Washington.
Well, Shanahan wanted him to be a 49er.
But and that's what it should have been, because the reason Cousins got that big old 3-year payday contract was because Shanahan made him look like a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
This greatest, he looked the 2 years that he made bank from Washington, he looked fantastic. He was like, I'd never seen him play that well.
It was,
but I also know that
what they did to RG3 though, man.
RG3, Fitzpatrick. The list. Washington has not had a long-term quarterback since, Mark Rippon or maybe Gus Frerotte. Yeah. Frerotte might have been the last long-term. But even then, that was a quarterback controversy because Heath Schuler was the quarterback, got a rushing touch, a QB sneak, got the touchdown, headbutted the goalpost, and knocked himself out with a concussion.
Boy, let me tell you something. I've never laughed so hard in my life.
That was the typical. Jeff said last year we had a guy with the last name Dalton passed to a player with the first name Dalton. Well, they apparently didn't care about Dalton. I don't know. They didn't say that one.
Dalton was a backup. That's true. What? He might be right on that stat. We might have to go check that. He might be right.
Yeah. Amari Cooper, though, 8th player in NFL history with 5+ receiving touchdowns in each of their first 7 seasons. So, that's that. I'm not going to say that anything negative on that. That's impressive. You're talented.
Our wonderful one of our wonderful viewers out there, Jeff. I respect Dallas, man. It's just they always do good. It's just, can they get through the playoffs? Can they get through? That's it. So,
well, the history keeps repeating itself. That's the problem with Dallas is when you had Romo. Romo might be considered one of the greatest quarterbacks out of Dallas, but that's because he had the stats. He was a Dan Marino. Never won the big game because you got him to the playoffs, and then he did the same thing that Romo was known for: choke. Right. Choked in the playoffs. Dak hasn't gotten them that far either. Until they get further in the playoffs, they're just mediocre at best.
But for now,
they have talent.
They got talent. They're doing good.
They've got talent. Good. They've got a better coach. I will agree that was the smartest thing, was getting rid of Jason Garrett. That was I know the reason that he stayed there for so long. And any other team to have your coach stay there that long and continuously go 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, or something, and never make the playoffs. Most owners would have canned him, but Jason Garrett was a yes man for good old Jerry, so that was why he stayed.
Yeah,
he might have had that offensive mind, but he was not head coach material, and that was an unfortunate thing.
All right, what's the next matchup or team you want to talk about?
Let's see. You want to pick one?
Let's
we
see.
We could highlight some of the Miami game. There ain't much to highlight.
There ain't nothing to highlight. Let's see. Well, Let's talk about the Bucs.
I was surprised.
Talk about the Bucs.
Yeah,
in Orleans.
talk about the Bucs. I was going to say the Tennessee Indy game. I'm kind of surprised with Indy, but yeah, we can go with the Bucs.
Why would you be surprised? Hey, look.
I'm not a fan of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is another one of those overrated bums, in my opinion.
When he's not hurt, he's a top quarterback. People forget what he did back then with the Eagles. He's not a scrub. He can play.
No, Jeff said other year, Dallas loses those last two games. Defense is playing better. You're right. They are. The defense is playing better. Their receivers are playing better. So they may make a bigger push.
I love that big tight end they got. I love that tight end they got, man. I was a Jason Witten fan. Just so you know, I love me some Jason Witten.
The Saints this year have joined the 2005 to 2009 Broncos as the only teams in NFL history to win 3 straight regular season games against Tom Brady. It's only one other team now, the Broncos and the Saints, and we know who's the quarterback on the Broncos.
well, one thing, man, they shut down Mike Evans, so he didn't get to use Mike Evans. Grunt, he's still injured.
He tried and then left. Yeah, Brady has a 2-4, but Brady's got that. It's that Saints curse. Brady's 2-4 versus the Saints in the Sean Payton era since 2006.
Yeah, his
worst record versus any team in that span of time with a minimum of 3 games. I don't know what it is.
Payton's got his number, dude.
Look at last year. It was the same thing last year. Even though they made it to the playoffs, they knocked them out. But it was no different. Now the biggest concern I have for the Saints is who you putting in a quarterback. I do know they reached out to Drew Brees, and Brees said, "No, I'm done. I'm fulfilling my contract."
I tell you this, man.
I like hanging out with the Manning brothers on Monday nights.
they better bubble wrap their running back, because if something happens to the running back, Kamara, they're done.
Yeah,
they're done.
They got Taysom.
Who?
I never had faith that Hill was going to get the starting job over Jameis Winston. To me, that would have been a dumb mistake, because Taysom Hill is great at what he does as a multi-positional
He's a hybrid.
Yeah, and there are not that many people at his position, at quarterback or whatever the position he is. There aren't that many of them that do that. So props to him. But it says the Saints scored 30 plus points for the 123rd time since Peyton was named head coach in 2006, including the playoffs. Second most games in the NFL. New Orleans is 107-16 in such games. That is crazy.
You know who the Saints better call? They better call Cam. Oh, Cam. Better call Cam.
I was waiting for you to say the other name, because that other name is going to get brought up. The one that trains 6 days a week or whatever whatever he claims. I don't.
Let me tell you something. Saints, better call Cam. Better call Cam.
Would he work well with Peyton though? Do you think he would fit in with that offensive style? I mean, I guess technically, I think he potentially could, because they already, Taysom Hill can run the ball. I mean, Jameis Winston's not really a runner. He's like the bus trying to run. Like, if he would have a full head of steam.
Check it to Kamara and just let dude run down the field.
Yeah. Cam hasn't had that much. I mean, he had talent at times in Carolina. He didn't really have the greatest in New England.
He was the running back.
I think that was, yeah.
He was the running back.
Saints, let's see. Brady had 300 plus passing yards, 4 plus passing touchdowns for the 27th time in his career. Only Breeze, figure. Only Drew Brees has more such games since 1950 at 32.
So is Brady now your MVP? Because a lot of people are saying Brady's MVP. Would you say he's MVP?
I don't know. I'm leery to name that, because I want to put Matthew Stafford up there as well.
Ooh. I like
Stafford
that.
I like that. This is not the Matthew Stafford of the Detroit Lions. This is MVP caliber Matthew Stafford.
But that happens when you get defense, receiver, when you play with a good team, plus a coach.
He's got a great coach. who's established. It's not like a new coach that has,
he's a smart.
This is a coach. He's been there for a while. He knows what he's doing, but Stafford looks like he's just enjoying the game now. He doesn't have, it's not him carrying the entire team for the entire game, 4 quarters of football like he did every single game in Detroit. And that was a lot of what it came down to for him.
I'll tell you what quarterback's in trouble. Kansas City.
Yeah. Mahomes,
They figured him out, man. They figured him out.
Yeah, and I've said that. The problem, Mahomes throws it,
That's it. I can get a highlight reel, y'all. This is going to be on ESPN. And he just chucks it up. Damn.
It's the same as the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. If you shut Jackson down, his running game down, he's an average quarterback at best.
Gotcha.
He's average when it comes to pass. He's gotten a little bit better over the years.
Tyreek Hill is a hell of a receiver. He can run, but guess what? You put some safeties, you put some people, like have some people drop back and just slow him down. What are you gonna? And he's holding the ball too long. He's holding the damn ball too long.
Yeah, Mike Evans has had 8+ receiving touchdowns in each of the last 4 seasons. Yeah. Only player in the NFL to do that. Evans is a beast. He was like that with. He looked.
I'm mad. Traded him.
Was his production going to go down or up when they brought Antonio Brown in there? But I knew Brown was going to go if he was going to get signed by anybody.
They complement one another, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But my whole thing with Brown was he was going to get signed, but it was wherever Brady went. Because they had a connection. It was on the same level as Brady and Gronk. That's why Gronk came out of retirement.
People better recognize what he did in Pittsburgh when he was with Ben Roethlisberger. He was the man, folks. Antonio Brown was the man in Pittsburgh, and when he hooked up with Brady, I was like, "Oh, Super Bowl!
Yeah,
this might be a Super
Bowl."
To
be honest, I'm surprised at the whole the Raiders thing, but he needed some money to cover expenses to move to Florida.
Wait a minute, he was a Patriot, he was a Raider,
he made bank.
He was a good Lord.
He made bank out of at least 2 teams just to play with, but he's got if he can stay out of trouble, he's been
good. He got a ring, dude. He got a
Brady. Whatever Brady has done to fix him, other players that have issues need to take notice. Deshaun Watson, you might want to change position.
Brady,
come on down. Brady will fix you.
Brady's the GOAT, man. People respect when you the GOAT and you got. Hey, look, you see these right here, these rings. You can have these too.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. Justin Simmons. I believe that was with Denver. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Denver has tied Mike Harden with 19 picks for the second most interception among Denver players in their first 6 seasons since 1970. I was picking around. There wasn't a whole lot besides, hey, look, a missed field goal, a fumble, turnover on downs, another missed field goal by Washington. Way to go, blew it. So I was like, I'm just going to go with the highlighted stats because otherwise it's like, that was one of those like, normally, those are the kind of games I like, low scoring. Like when the Brady won the Super Bowl, and it was that that ridiculously low scoring game. It was just old school football.
Right.
Run the ball, pass when you need to. That I loved it. Like I remember that Super Bowl because that was one of the NFL's lowest rating wise. That was the lowest one that this NFL had in years. And it was because it wasn't this high scoring affair because, the Chiefs weren't there and you didn't have stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That was the best. That's what I want. I don't care for this pass happy garbage because we see that's the problem is, and the only way to stop this pass happy is the defense has to play. Well, the only way to stop the defense is make up a bunch of rules that the defense can't tackle anymore. Packers effectively eliminated some of their players because of rules like that.
Right. Now, I have to say, the game that bored me was the Cleveland game.
Yeah.
That was like a yawn. It was like, come on, dude.
Do you think the Chiefs are going to improve with getting Melvin Ingram?
Yes.
Though?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I'll be interested to see if it's going to be as big of a bonus or a plus positive for the Chiefs, like the Rams. How we know the Rams won out with the Stafford trade, or is it going to just be like I don't really know. That one's got me intrigued.
That's going to help. That's going to they need
Deshaun,
to make that trade.
Watson, I mean, there was nobody was going to take that what the Houston wanted for him.
Like, they don't need. Look, did you see the game?
They wanted 3 first-round draft picks for
exactly.
him. And I was like, Miami wasn't dumb. That's why they said, hey, take care of your legal stuff, because I think they knew even if he did, he was going to be on the list. Goodell was waiting for him to say, all right, I'll take care of it, so he could be like, oh, you're not playing anyways.
Right.
We just wanted you to take care of this. He was good, but
Texas, believe it or not, Texas actually played good, man. Brooks.
Yeah. They have good talent. That's the thing. It's just unfortunate.
Trying to look up the let's see. If you go into that game, I mean, it was 38-22. Mills, he was 29-38. He did throw over 300 yards. Oh my God. You're in trouble when Burkhead is your top running back. 4 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. I miss Burkhead. I like when Burkhead was with the Patriots, but Brooks, man, he was balling, dude. He had
he did good.
83 yards and a touchdown. He did great, but there's just the Rams just got weapons, man. They just got weapons.
Yeah, and Stafford's just having so much fun. It's fun to watch him play now, because I always felt bad watching him just get pummeled in Detroit and have to try to carry the team and salvage it. Like, I would love to see, like, oh, look, Megatron came out of retirement to join the Rams.
you never know.
But I was looking at some of the highlights from the Colts Titans game. Michael Pittman.
Yes, awesome.
He's got first Colts receiver with 2 receiving touchdowns in the first quarter of a game since Brandon Stokely on Thanksgiving in 2004.
God, Brandon Stokely. Wow. Well, you know what? He has a rapport with Wentz. That's his go-to guy.
Yeah.
And it was killing me because I had Wentz sitting on my bench, and I'm like, oh no, not the Pittman. Oh, not the Pittman. And yeah.
Well, Wentz is set a franchise record. Wentz had 211 straight passing attempts without an interception before his pick 6 in the fourth quarter. Nice. Was the longest such streak in Indianapolis history. I mean, I will admit he is a good quarterback when he is healthy. If he can stay healthy, he's going to do wonders for the Colts.
Who do you think is better, Wentz or Luck?
My money's still on Luck. I still wish he had not just up and retired, because he didn't play Wentz. Yeah. I don't know. We saw Luck play enough. Wentz has been injured constantly and out for season after season. Right. He hasn't had a full season. And even this season, he got injured again. He was out for a couple of games. He has not made an entire season.
And the year that the team goes and wins the Super Bowl, who's the damn MVP? Nick.
And where's Nick Foles? Because I forgot where he does. He play for anybody? There's some quarterback. There's some jobs available. Hey, exactly. The Saints might call him up.
I would. But it
wouldn't surprise me, because I remember years ago when Carolina had no quarterbacks, they had all of them were injured. They didn't want to use their punter, so they brought in good old 41-year-old Vinny Testaverde out of retirement, who was just sitting in his rocking chair. I don't really know if he was.
Vinny, he makes wine. He makes wine. I heard it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see what other stats. Wentz again, and Wentz's interception in overtime was his second of the game. Wentz had 0 interceptions in 5 straight games. But on paper, he looked good, but so did Tannehill. Tannehill, 23 of 33, 265, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Come on, dude.
A.J. Brown received 10 yards, 155 yards, 1 TD.
I know. He's already passed. He just passed Ernest Givens for the 3rd most games with 100 plus receiving yards. by a Houston/Tennessee player, and I like how they do the it was a throwback to the days of the Oilers.
I thought T.Y. Hilton, he came back. I thought T.Y. Hilton was going to be something, but nah, dude, it was Pittman.
Derrick Henry, 50+ rushing yards in 33 straight games, and the only other person to do that had a longer streak was Priest Holmes,
right?
Who had 38 games.
Jonathan Taylor, dude, right next to Henry is Taylor. Taylor's a beast too. He's a
Harold Landry is another one on defense. Landry, sacks.
Yeah,
he's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Where are we at time wise? We got about 10 minutes left of the show. So do we want to do some? Yeah, I know. We could do predictions for week 9. See what our thoughts are.
Let's go for it.
Jets at Colts.
Come on, dude. Colts,
I know.
Colts.
Yeah, I got to go Colts on that one. I
think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a hell of a game. He's going to get over 100 yards. I see the return of T.Y. Hilton. I can see Tyree not 100 yards, but I can see him maybe 60-50 with a touchdown.
It'll be interesting because I would love to say the Jets might do something, but if they start Flacco, I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't know if Flacco's going to start right. I mean, Flacco. I would
stick with the kid, man. I stick with
the fight. Falcons at Saints. My money's. I don't. I'm at a toss up. I would have said Saints, but I don't know. But my money's still going to go towards the Saints on this one because
Falcons, because they're going to do the combination of Cordell Patterson and Mike Davis. With the Patterson can catch and he can run. That's who I got it. Patterson is the comeback player.
Broncos at Cowboys. It's going to kill me to say this, but my money, I have to say the Cowboys will probably win that one. That hurts me inside to say that I'm not rooting for them, but I will say that the Cowboys.
You got to keep it real. Cowboys. I got Cowboys to win.
Yeah, their defense is. We saw what Washington's defense did to Bridgewater. Right. Dallas has a way better defense right now.
Exactly.
That is working cohesively, and they're just gonna. Yeah. God help Bridgewater.
I got the Cowboys.
Patriots at Panthers. I'm going Patriots on that one because Mac Jones. That's all I can say is I'm a fan of him right now because it's fun to watch this kid progress, get better every week. It's like watching, Brady was the same way. Brady, a late draft, a 7th rounder, got better with every game. When he finally got the start, and Jones is doing the same thing.
Carolina, Moore is going to have a huge game. I'm going with the Panthers.
Nice. Vikings at Ravens. God, I want to say the Vikings, but I can't. I have no faith in Zimmer, no faith in Cousins because I know Cousins and I've watched him in Minnesota the time he's been here. I've watched him when he was in Washington, so I'm going to say Ravens.
I'm going to say the Vikings. Dalvin Cook's going to have a huge game. Thiele's going to have a huge game. They're still butthurt about the butt whooping they got from the Cincinnati Bengals. Woo, that was a tail whooping, and they're still suffering from that.
That was some.
Come
there
on
were so
now.
many mistakes in that game.
Woo.
Browns at Bengals. I'm going to say Bengals. That's a tough one.
Nah, I'm going with Bengals, dude. I'm going with Bengals. Dude, did you see Laundry drop? Laundry, look. I could caught them damn balls that went to Laundry. The guy was. You got poor. He's got one arm throwing these damn balls, and the dude kept dropping them.
Let's see. Yeah, that one's for us. Just telling me how to end things because we got about 8 minutes. Let's see where we're at. Bills at Jaguars. That's not even Bills on that one all day. Bills are just gonna
Josh Allen. He's gonna throw 300 yards and probably run 100 yards on that game.
Yeah, he'll. I don't know what score-wise, but it's going to be.
Cole Beasley is going to have a hell of a game, and Emmanuel Sanders is going to have a hell of a game.
Yeah. Let's see. Texans at Dolphins. Oh my God, that's two garbage teams. But I think the Dolphins are going to get their second win with this one. But I don't know. The Texans showed.
I'm going with the Texans. I think Cook is going to have a huge game. I think
Braves. This is a sports alert since we are sports talk.
Yes.
Braves might win the World Series tonight. They're up 7-0 over the Astros.
Oh my God, Braves! You had it, Atlanta. What happened? Damn.
But apparently, the Houston Astros have not scored anything. I don't know the inning, but Braves are trouncing the Astros right now. Let's see where we got the Texans Raiders at the Giants.
I was mad. I told my wife, "Look, honey, the Braves are going to win it," and then my wife was like, "You jinxed them. Shut up." They had it, but if they win tonight,
top of the seventh, so
yeah, they better. I'm not gonna say that because
yeah.
I said that last time.
Let's see. So we got Raiders at Giants.
Come on, dude.
I'm going Raiders, but because it's not that
Derek,
I don't
Derek
like
Carr's
the Giants,
balling,
but
dude. Derek Carr is balling.
He is fantastic, but Danny Dimes, I don't trust him to save that team. He has good games, and I've utilized him in fantasy football before because he averages great points, but he's like a Rex Grossman. He can have a great 2 games, and then he's right back to old Danny Dimes messing everything up.
I got the Raiders.
Chargers at Eagles. I don't know. The Eagles came out. I mean, I know they played Detroit, but I'm going to lean towards the Chargers because I think that they lost. They coming off that loss, a tight, close loss.
Come on, dude. Herbert to Allen. I see a lot of that going on. Ackler, the running back. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, I am too. And, and it's not that the Eagles look good. It's just they play Detroit. So any team that plays Detroit is going to look good. Packers at Chiefs. Oh God, this is another one that I'm going to kill. It's going to cringe when I say it. I got to go with Rodgers and the Packers because there's just no way. I think that Rodgers is just going to is going to outshine Mahomes. The Chiefs, their weaknesses are known. And I think that's going to be the issue now. Oh, it was bottom of the 7th for the Braves, up 7-0. So it looks like they may end up securing that. Cardinals at 49ers. I'm going to lean towards the Niners on this one. I know the Cardinals are good, but the Niners are starting to come together.
Well, is the quarterback, he's banged up. I'm going with the Niners. I'm going with my Niners. This is where, hey, you saw them being undefeated and going up. They're going down.
Yep. Titans at Rams. My money's on the Rams on that one.
Look,
all I can say is Matthew Stafford.
Look, man,
MVP Matthew Stafford.
Henry was the man. The man. You're done. They're done. They're done.
Yeah. Bears at Steelers. I'm going Steelers on that one because it's the Bears. I'm sorry.
Hey, this kid looked good when he played, man. And they got good. They got a running back that's playing. He's playing really good.
I want to see him do good, but who knows?
I'm going with the Bears. I'm going with the Bears. I'm sorry, Ben. You're 39. You're getting old. You're gonna get hit by a Mack truck. There you go.
Might fall off his motorcycle again. And be done.
I got the Bears defense.
All right. Well, we are gonna end the show. We're about 3 minutes out to ending it. So I'm gonna say you can follow us on Twitter at the Sportscast1 and visit us on our website, thesportscast.net. Make sure to check out our schedule throughout the week. This has been Aaron and
Ray Sherrod, and this has been great. Man, nothing like talking sports and football with your friend.
Yeah. Have a great one, everybody. And we'll see you here next week. Same time, same place. Probably different results, though.
Go Niners.